Hey guys, welcome back to this brand new video. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to create this awesome looking Instagram story animation inside of DaVinci Resolve 16. So without any further ado, let's take a new project and get started. Alright, so click on this new project and let's call it Insta and click on create. And we have to do some basic settings, so click on this setting button. And for Instagram story we need a vertical composition, so we have to set the size of this project 1080 by 1920 instead of this 1920 by 1080. So I'm gonna inverse this value, so set this width value 1080 and set this height value 1920. All right, and let's go with 30 frame per second, so set this value 30 and set this playback frame rate 30. All right, and click on save. And now we have to import an image or video file that we want to use in this project. So just go to media pool, right click on that, click on import media. And in this case, I'm using this image that I have downloaded from unsplash.com, and I have also provided a link in the description for this. So go to the link and download this image and click on open. All right, and now double click on this and let's call it image, and drag this image to the timeline like this. And now select this image and let's fit this according to our composition size. So just go to inspector window and let's scale it up and set it like that. And now close this inspector window, and I'm going to create this Instagram story animation by using this fusion page. So we have to convert this into a fusion clip, so right click on this image and click on this new fusion clip. All right, and then go to your fusion tab, and here we get media in and media out. So just drag this media out to the side for now and just deattach this connection and drag this media in to the viewer. And basically this is our image, so I want to make this black and white, so add a color corrector node with this and drag this color corrector to the viewer and hit F2 on the keyboard to rename, and let's call it color and hit OK. And now I want to make this black and white, so go to inspector window and here is saturation, which is a value of color, so just down this value 0 and make it black and white. And now go to this channel and change this RGB to blue channel and set this brightness value something around 0.15, hit enter and make it a bluish tone like this. And now let's create a scale animation for this image. So select this color and add a transform node after this color and hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it a scale and drag it to the viewer and select this scale and go to the end of this animation and right click on size, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe on a scale property and go to very beginning of this animation and let's scale it up a bit and set this value something like 1.5, hit enter. And now let's play this, and as you can see we have a very basic scale animation. So let's make a smooth animation, so go to spline window, hit F4 to full screen and check this option scale and click on fit button, select these both keyframes and hit S on the keyboard to smooth, or you can also click on this smooth button and go to very beginning at frame number 0 and hold this handle and just drag it like that and create a smooth curve like this, and go to 10 frame forward in time and hold this handle and just place it like that. All right, and go to very beginning and now let's play this again. All right, so it's looking much more interesting, and close this spline window. And now let's add one more effect, so just select this scale, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for directional blur. So select this directional blur and select this directional blur option and click on add button and hit F2 on the keyboard to rename, and let's call it blur. Hit OK and drag this blur to the viewer and just set it like this. And now go to on frame number 30, which is equal to 1 second according to 30 frame per second, and go to this inspector window and set this blur strength value 0, and right click on this blur strength, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe, and go to very beginning of this animation and just set this blur strength something around 0.5 and hit enter. All right, and now let's play this again, and it's looking something like this. All right, and now let's create shape animation. So take a background node and hit F2 on the keyboard, and let's call it shape. Hit OK and drag this shape to the viewer and pick a white color for now. And now let's attach an ellipse mask with this. So select this and add an ellipse mask, drag it over here, and let's increase the size of this and set this size 1.5, hit enter, set this height value 1.5 and hit enter. All right, and now just drag this over here and go to the end of this animation and go to this inspector window and set this center Y value negative 0.1, hit enter, and click on this diamond button to create a keyframe on center property, and go to very beginning of this animation and just drag this and set this value negative 0.5, hit enter. All right, and now let's play this. And as you can see, it's a weird animation, so let's make some more interesting animations. So go to a spline window, hit F4 to full screen, and minimize this scale, minimize this blur, and minimize this ellipse 1. All right, and uncheck this blur and uncheck this scale and check this ellipse 1 only, and click on fit button and select these both keyframes and click on a smooth button and go to very beginning at frame number 0 and hold this handle and just set it like this and create a nice smooth curve, and go to on frame number 10 and hold this handle also and just set it over here like this. All right, and now let's play this. So it's looking much more interesting as you can see, and now close this spline window. All right, and now let's add one more ellipse tool. So just select this ellipse and click on this ellipse button to add one more ellipse after this ellipse 1, and right click on this flow window, go to arrange tool and check this option to grid. That will help you to keep this node clean and organized. So just snap it on grid and set it like this. And now select this second ellipse and let's set the size of this ellipse something around 1.5, hit enter, set this height value 1.5 and hit enter. And now check this option invert and make it like this, and go to the end of this animation and right click on center, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe, and go to very beginning of this animation and just drag this like this and set this center Y value 0.75, hit enter. And now let's play this again. So as you can see, we have a very simple and basic animation. So just go to a spline window, hit F4 to full screen and uncheck this ellipse 1 and check this ellipse 2 only, and click on fit button, select these keyframes, hit S, or you can also click on this smooth button and go to very beginning at frame number 0, hold this handle and just drag it like that and create a smooth curve, and go to on frame number 10 and hold this handle also and just set it like that. All right, and close this spline window and go to very beginning of this animation and let's take a look. All right, so it's looking like this. And now let's create a nice gradient color. So select this shape and go to this inspector window and change this type solid color to 4 corner and select 4 different color for each corner. So just set this red value 0.3 7, hit enter and make it this kind of purple color, and go to this top right corner and select this sky blue color like this, and this time set this green value 0.74 maybe, hit enter and go to this bottom left corner and this time pick a orange color like this and set this green color value 0.34, hit enter and make it this type of orange color, and just go to bottom right corner and pick a nice pink color like this and set this blue value something around 0.5 and hit enter and make it this kind of pink color. All right, and as you can see it's looking like this. And now let's merge this shape with this image, so just drag it over here, take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this blur and connect this green foreground point with this shape and use this output as a foreground and drag this merge one to the viewer, and as you can see it's looking like this. And now let's add one more effect, so just drag this node over here and add a drop shadow effect after this shape. So just select this, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for drop shadow and select this drop shadow effect, hit add button, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it shadow, hit OK and just select this shadow and just set this drop distance 0 and just set this blur value 0.55, hit enter, and as you can see it's looking like this and click on fit button. All right, and now I want to create a duplicate of these 4 nodes, so just select these node, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste another copy over here by hitting Ctrl V. And now let's merge these both outputs, so take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this merge one and connect this green foreground point with this shadow underscore 1 and drag this merge 2 to the viewer. All right, and now just go to the end of this animation and select this ellipse underscore 1 and just drag this like this and set this value something around negative 0.2, hit enter, and now select this second ellipse and set it like this and set this value 0.54, hit enter, and now it's looking like this. All right, and now hit Ctrl and scroll up to zoom in and just select this drop shadow and let's turn this shadow strength something around 0.2, hit enter, and it's looking much more better as you can see, and click on this fit button and go to very beginning of this animation and let's play this again. All right, so it's looking nice, and now we have to create a text for this. So let's take a text node and just drag this text to the viewer and let's type your first text. So I'm going to type Instagram, and in this case I'm using this Open Sans font style, and of course you can choose any different font style that you want. And now set this to extra bold and set the size of this text, hold Ctrl and scroll up to zoom in and set it like this and set the size something around 0.3, hit enter. And now let's attach a rectangle mask with this text, so click on this rectangle button and add a rectangle mask and just set this mask like this. All right, and now let's animate the text. So just go to the end of this animation, select this text and go to this layout, and as you can see text is only visible in this rectangular masked area. So go to the end of this animation and right click on center, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe and go to on frame number 30, which is equal to 1 second according to 30 frame per second, and just drag this text outside of this rectangular masked area, and let's play this. And we have a very basic animation, so let's make a smooth animation. So go to a spline window, hit F4 to full screen, and uncheck this ellipse 1 and check this text 1 only, and click on fit button, select these keyframes, hit S to smooth, or you can also click on this smooth button and go to very beginning at frame number 30, hold this handle and just set it like this, and go to 10 frame forward in time on frame number 40 and hold this handle and just set it like this. Alright, and now close this spline window and go to very beginning, and let's play this again. Alright, so it's looking much more interesting. And now let's create a duplicate of this text. So just select this, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste another copy over here, and select this text, hit F2 on the keyboard to rename, and let's call it text2, hit enter. And now just select this text and drag this text to the viewer and type your second text over here. So I'm typing stories, and select this rectangle mask and set this mask according to this text like this. And now go to on frame number 30 where we have created a keyframe and select this text, and this time just drag this text over on this rectangular masked area. And now let's play this, and we get this type of effect here. And now let's merge this both text. So take a merge node and connect this yellow point with this text 1 and green point with this, and just drag this merge 3 to the viewer. And now select this merge and just drag this second text over here and select this text 2, and let's increase the size of this and set this value something around 0.35, hit enter. All right, and go to the end of this animation and just set it like this. All right, and now just drag this text over here, and let's take another merge. So click on this merge button and just connect this yellow background point with this merge 2 and green foreground point with this merge 3, and drag this merge 4 to the viewer. All right, and now select this merge 4 and just down the size a bit and set it over here like this, and set this scale value something around 0.75, hit enter. And go to the end of this animation and set this value 0.35 maybe, and right click on center, click on animate, and go to on frame number 30 which is equal to 1 second, and just drag it down and set this Y value something around 0.25, hit enter, and go to spline window, hit F4 to full screen, and uncheck this text 1 and text 2 also, and check this merge 4 only, and click on fit button, select this keyframe, hit S to smooth, hold this handle and just drag it like that, and go to 10 frame forward in time and hold this point and set it like this and create a nice smooth curve, and close this spline window, and it's almost done. So click on fit button and go to very beginning, and let's play this. So it's looking nice, and let's do one more thing. Just go to the end of this animation and let's create a drop shadow for this text. So just select this shadow node, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste another copy over here, hold shift on the keyboard and attach this shadow after this merge 3 over here, and let's do some adjustment with this. So just set this blur value 0 and just set this drop distance to default and set this value something around 0.008, hit enter. Set this blur value 0.3 maybe, and now just set this shadow strength 0.3, hit enter. All right, so it's looking much more better. And now go to very beginning of this animation and let's play this, and click on fit button and go to the end of this animation. And now let's do one more thing. Just connect this media out with our main output. So just connect the output of this merge 4 with this media out. All right, and go to the edit tab, and as you can see, our Instagram story animation is ready for render. So go to very beginning of this animation and click on this loop button, and let's have a look. Alright, so it's looking awesome, and that's all for this tutorial, guys. I hope you like it. If you like it, then hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notified when I will upload my new video. And if you like this video, then hit the like button, and I will see you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.